All right, now on this lesson I'm going to teach you different ways to use a treadmill. Now every time I see someone on the treadmill, they're going forward, which is great because we walk forward when we're outside. But there's other ways to take advantage of a treadmill, and we can do this outside. I'm doing this inside because it's easier for the video. And when you're outside, it's you have potential for more obstacles. Here there's nothing in my way. I'm walking on a belt, and I'm not going to have any obstacles by way of rocks or dogs running across my path. So that's why I'm doing it here, but for sure you can do this outside. If you have a regular path that you follow, maybe your path is 2 kilometers. Maybe during that path you have a section which is almost straight and almost flat. You can do this kind of stuff perhaps during that small track going back and forth. Or you can do this on a beach, or if you have an actual oval track, you can do it there. I will usually go to the closest sports field where they'll play soccer, and I'll go back and forth. I think it's 100 meters. I'll go back and forth doing the different things I'm going to show you. So walking forward, easy. We all know how to walk forward. One thing I like to think about is to have my knees always pointing forward. I see when I look at most people walking, they let the leg go completely straight when it comes to the back. Now I think that's potentially damaging for the back of your knee, so I always try and keep the knee pointing forward. There's no point in my step that my leg is going straight. So that's the forward. Now I'll show you backwards. What you might want to do is slow down the treadmill so you can customize yourself to being able to walk backwards. And I don't need to slow it down because it's a good speed for me. So here it is. Sorry about you seeing my back, but I can't move the camera to over here. But I won't stay here for very long. So here is your backwards walk. Like I said, on the treadmill, it's really easy because I don't have to worry about something coming up in my path compared to when you're outside. You're always going to have to look back just to make sure that nothing is in your way that's going to make you fall. So that's the backwards. Now there's also sideways. Sideways two ways. See how my right foot's going forward and then my left foot's catching up to it. You know what this is doing, you can imagine, is it's working different muscles. Other side, if you can see with a different angle. For people who know about exercise, we will always do many various exercises to target the same muscle group. For example, if we're training the core, we're not always going to do one exercise. We're going to do many different exercises to get the different areas of the core. Here's the last one I'll show you. It's a crossover. And the good thing about the treadmill is there's usually a handrail that you can use if you lose your balance. Now go as slow as you need to in the beginning, just to get used to this. So as I was saying, when we're training different muscle groups, we'll constantly be looking for more different exercises, because if you always do the same exercise over and over again, the muscles will adapt and progress will plateau, or at least it won't be as steep of progress. Whenever you're introducing new stuff, the muscles have to adapt, they have to grow stronger. Okay, so that's it. You got forwards, here's backwards. And what I would do is I would do maybe 3 or 4 minutes each way, 3 or 4 minutes forwards, 4 minutes backwards. I would usually do this as a count. I might do 20 one way, and then 20 the other way. Same with the crossover. You choose either counting 20 or doing 30 seconds as an example for each side. Just lost my balance. I have the handrail to grab me. Okay? So there's 4 ways. Now, when you're here, you can also do other stuff. Here I have a rope that I call the fitness rope. I have already 2 videos, so I'm not going to go through the specifics, but you can stretch while you're doing your walk. Watch, here I'm stretching shoulders and chest. And then I can go with the half moon, stretching the ribs and the spine. And now I'm stretching between the shoulder blades. And I can stretch this way, just turning around so you can see. And there's also this stretch that I've showed in a recent previous video. If you don't have the rope, then I'll show you some stuff. I just have a little list of stuff that I wanted to show you today. So one that most of us know is right here. So this is for the tricep. So you could stay here for, you have the clock right in front of you. You can do 30 seconds with one arm, and then 30 seconds with the other arm, and then do that again if you want to. Or here is a good stretch for between the shoulder blades at the back. Again, with the clock, you can time yourself 30 seconds. Okay, another good stretch is connecting your hands behind your back. A lot of people like to open their hands. It just gives you more space and it's more relaxing for the chest. So you can see my hands are behind my back, and a really good stretch for the front part of the torso. And another stretch you can do is arms connected, and as I had earlier with the rope, you don't need the rope. I can just do a slight curve, getting a good stretch all the way on this side, and the spine is also stretching. And you can do it to a count of steps or to a count with the clock. And another stretch would be a twist. So starting with your arms in what I call a T position, keeping the hips pointing forward. And if you're doing this static, not walking, I would also twist my neck, but I would prefer to be looking forward so it doesn't make me dizzy. And I would rotate in the other direction. Okay, and then I have what I call the windmill. So one hand goes forwards and one hand goes backwards. Okay, this is a good exercise also for the brain and the nervous system. Okay, so you want to balance out. Now my left arm's going forward and my right arm's going backwards. Okay, so those are, I think, about 5 or 6 stretches, not including the stretches you can do with the rope. And you can do these walking forwards, or you can do them walking backwards. You know, we have all the same stretches that I just showed you. You can choose to do it either forwards or backwards. You can't really do it, it's just not comfortable when you're moving sideways. So forwards and backwards, stretching while you're walking on the treadmill. You can still watch the TVs that are in front of you, or maybe you have your earphones in and you're listening to music. I think it just maximizes your time instead of just being here, walking for the half hour or hour that you do. Incorporate some of this stuff to make it more efficient. And the last part I'm going to show you that you can do in all the 4 ways, forwards, backwards, sideways, crossover, is to have a weight in your hand. What this is doing, I have a medicine ball, I think it's 8 pounds. I have a kettlebell, which might be about the same. I have a dumbbell, 10 pounds, and I have a barbell. It's 25 pounds. So I'm going to put them in my hand to show you specifically what I'm talking about. And the amazing thing about my arm up here with a weight, you don't even need to have a weight in it. Well, what's happening is now my heart has to work harder. Instead of my arm being down here, really easy for my heart to pump blood to my arm, if it's up here, now the heart has to go a meter, more or less, against gravity to reach all the way up to my fingertip. So doing this is more work for my heart and my lungs. And that's kind of why we do cardiovascular exercise. Cardio is the heart, vascular for the lungs, basically. And we're trying to make the heart and the lungs stronger when we do this kind of exercise. And me putting my arm in 2 arms makes it even more difficult, is providing more work for my heart and my lungs. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to straddle the treadmill, and first I'll use a medicine ball, 8 pounds. So what I normally do is I'll do 50 steps with the ball in one arm, then I'll do 50 steps with the ball in the other arm. And then I'll go backwards, same thing, 50 steps in one arm, 50 steps in the other, and then sideways. 50, well, probably not 50, I might do 20, and then switch. And I'll alternate which hand the ball is in, just to make things different. So my heart has to work harder. Now, what I didn't mention yet is what's happening with the muscles. With my arm up here, this side of my body, I'll go here, I'm not sure if the screen's in your way. This side of my body, these muscles here are working. My shoulder's working, triceps, this muscle right here. If I'm down here walking normal, those muscles aren't working. So adding the ball or a weight provides more exercise. Right here. And also, because there's an imbalance in my body weight, the opposite flank, I'll call it, the opposite core on the side, let me switch again to show you. So because my body weight's uneven because of the extra weight, this side of my body has to counterbalance. So these muscles are working right now just by walking like this. And if I bring the weight even farther outside the midline, as in a shoulder press, I can feel these muscles on this side tightening up, which means they're working. So that's another bonus of doing this kind of exercise with the walking. So I showed you the single arm, and you can also do double arm. Walking like this with or without a ball is challenging. I can feel this whole ring of muscles that are now engaged just by adding a weight above my head. And I would do it backwards and sideways and with the crossover. Again, to remind you, if you're new to this stuff, you might want to set the treadmill on a slower speed, or you might want to try this stuff outside before you have the confines of a belt. So that's with the medicine ball. And so you have single arm, double arm, you have the shoulder press, and you can also do a tricep press. With the tricep press, keep your elbows, biceps by your ear, elbows close together, don't let them wing out, and you're just bringing the weight behind your head. The shoulder press, you can come straight down like this, or you can rotate the wrist and bring the elbow a little bit closer to your body. All right, so that's with the medicine ball. And the kettlebell, this feels heavier actually. It must be 8 kilos. The kettlebell is the same. I would do the same, not in the same session. Maybe Monday I'll do with the medicine ball, and then next time Friday I'll do with the kettlebell, and then the next week I would do with a dumbbell. I would again the 50 steps here and backwards, and the double arm, and the shoulder press, and the tricep press, same as I did with the medicine ball. And here, 10 pounds it feels like. Same thing, here I have the dumbbell. Now a barbell adds a new dimension. First of all, you need to make sure you have space beside you. If someone was walking on this treadmill behind me, I wouldn't do it with a barbell. So now you have both arms. You can do one arm. It gets really tricky. And to do the shoulder press, watch how I rotate the barbell just to protect my shoulder. It's almost too much for my shoulder to lift back up. But both arms, it's great. Especially, here's the backwards, here's the sideways, especially with the crossover, because I have to use a lot of core strength to maintain the bar up here while I'm walking. I can't do the crossover with one arm holding the barbell. It gets too crazy. It's too difficult. I need to go really slow. See, I can't rotate the bar in time to follow with my step. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you for you to add into your time on a treadmill. And it's more enjoyable. It makes the half hour go by a lot quicker. And you can probably tell I'm a little bit out of breath, which is the goal. You want to work your heart and your lungs. Now, this next part, it's a bit more advanced, and I would recommend that you don't do it until you're ready. And that's picking up the speed and turning the walk into a jog or a run. But first of all, before I forget, I want to tell you that I will do this also without my shoes, without my training shoes. I'll have my socks, the regular socks I use, and then over those socks, I'll put those socks that have the sticky pads underneath it. And I'll be on the treadmill for my usual time, half hour or whatever, in my socks. It trains the underside of the foot, the sole. The training shoes are great, but they provide support, which is fine, but I believe for the foot to be stronger, it needs to spend time walking without the support of the shoe. So if you want to try that as well, depending on your specific fitness club, if you're not using a treadmill at home, the fitness club might not let you do without the running shoes for liability reasons. Most fitness clubs do have a list on a wall somewhere that says you need to have proper fitness equipment by way of clothes and shoes. And that might be enough to protect the fitness club from any liability if you do decide to go barefoot or with socks and you get injured. So it depends on your specific fitness club. Also, this kind of stuff that I'm doing, I really don't know if every fitness club will allow it. If you have a treadmill at home, it's easy, you can do it. But your specific fitness club, you might have to ask one of the trainers or one of management staff if it's okay. And to end up, I'm going to show you how you do it running. I'm going to bump up the speed a little bit and do a minute. So everyone knows running forward. And I mean, you can put your arms up, but I would not hold on to a weight while I run. And here's the backwards. I would usually do intervals, 3 minutes one way, and sometimes I'll even do a minute or two of walking. And here is the sideways shuffle, we'll call it. I would do a number, say 15 on one side, and then 15 on the other side. And then the crossover. Again, you might want to practice this kind of stuff outside before you try it on a treadmill, because I'm with a limited, confined space. And that's what I wanted to show you. Thanks for watching, and happy training.